Welcome to Creative Whiff Studio. I hope you had a great week. I hope everyone is staying healthy and safe. The world's gone mad, but not here at the studio. So this past week, so I'm filming on Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. This is a Flosstube channel about cross-stitch, punch needle, and art. All the creative whims that I love. But, so this past week, I left last Thursday on the day we usually get our grandbabies. So I was very sad that we missed them last week. But we headed out to West Virginia. My friend Renee moved down there in December to take care of her parents. And she came up for Friends Weekend. And while she was here, she packed up the rest of her house into a 15-foot U-Haul and asked my husband if he would drive that back for her to West Virginia, and then I rode with her along with my puppy dog, and it was a nice visit. West Virginia is gorgeous. Let me just start out by saying West Virginia is so beautiful. I want to go back in 2021 in the fall when all the trees have turned, because it's just mountain range after mountain range, and it's so pretty. But it was very relaxing. You know, I'm close enough with Renee. She didn't feel like she had to entertain me. We didn't have to have plans every day. I said, I'm just happy chilling here at the house, visiting with you and your mom. And, you know, we just hung out for the most part. I mean, we did do a little sightseeing, driving around, and we had to go to the store a couple times. We attempted to go to Mass on Sunday. Yeah, very strange. You know, we looked online. I mean, she knows what time Mass starts. It's like in the next town over, so it's a good 15-20 minute drive. And we get there, and she peeks her head inside, and there's nobody there. So, but the door's open. We go ahead and go in, because I said, well, I saw a lady and her daughter. This lady was probably in her 40s. She had you know, an older daughter. I mean, probably in her late teens, mid-teens, whatever. I saw them walk through the yard. We went in the back way because her mom, Renee's mom, needed to use the ramp. She couldn't go up the steep stairs. So but we're coming in the back. We're coming up this sidewalk, and I saw this lady and her daughter go into the church, like go to the front of the church. When we go inside, and we can hear voices. We can hear people talking, women talking. And I said, well, I think they're in the basement. Like, we're like looking around. You know, it's a very small church. And anyways, I just don't understand, because we can hear them. I'm assuming they can hear us, because I'm like, hello, you know, it seems like somebody would come up and say, I'm sorry, we're not having Mass today, whatever. Anyways, and we were going to leave, and I said, well, we're here. Why don't we at least say some prayers? So we found a spot in a pew and said our prayers and left. So my husband is on the porch getting flotation devices that we use on our float trip. Anyways, they're on the porch. I think he's getting ready to go swim in the pond. My dog saw him. She's going bananas. Athena, please. You know that's Daddy. You know that's Daddy. Can you just chill out, please? Shh. No. Anywho. But anyways, the visit was nice. We got home safe and sound on Monday, late Monday, 8 p.m. or something. Then Tuesday, we got up in the morning. I worked on my punch needle a little bit, had some coffee, got cleaned up, took the van back. The place that we normally take things back to Enterprise in our local town here, it was closed. It's been closed since March. So we had to drive out to the airport, drop it off there. And then we came home, we filled like 40 orders, 40, 50 orders, I don't remember. I had a ton of orders to fill. So we worked on our orders, And then I had like this rash thing on my neck and it was itching and burning. Well, I was afraid it was shingles because I've had shingles before and I just wanted to catch it early enough in case it was shingles. So at 3 o'clock I had a doctor's appointment. We get done there. We drop all the orders off at the post office. We pick up my prescription. It's not shingles, by the way. It's just an allergic reaction. And then we had to drive all the way out on the other side of town to Lapeer and pick up our van that had been in the shop getting worked on. And anyways, it was just a hot mess. The whole day it was like, we're home, we're not, we're out here, we're on this side of town, then we come home, then we're on that side of town. It was a zoo. It was a zoo. So I forgot to turn off my air. I will be right back. It's quiet again. So where was I? That was yesterday. Then last night we had CW Live and we finished our snowman painting. I'll show you that later. And then just a little while ago I had Witch Paint Wednesday with Kristen and it was a total blast. She's doing a gorgeous piece of furniture. A really gorgeous piece of furniture. I don't know, she's talking about coming up here because she has 3 or 4 orders from people in Michigan and she was going to bring them up here. I would love to buy that piece off her that she's working on, but I don't know that she'll have room in her vehicle. And anyways, I guess she could keep it and then when I go down there for Nashville market I could get it, but then our van's full. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm thinking out loud. I digress. Also, so while I was in West Virginia, I FaceTimed my mom and Jerry, and it was a nice visit. She got to see Sandra, which is Renee's mom, because they've met several times, and Renee got to see her, and it was a nice little visit on FaceTime. And then the very next day she messaged me and said that she's really upset because they decided not to come up. They were going to come up on the 14th. I forgot to mention that, didn't I? She has an appointment on the 13th and they were going to leave the next day to come up here and stay for, I don't know, a week or 2. And I was super excited about hanging out with my mom and, you know, just doing some fun stuff, playing cards, whatever, hanging out together. But because of COVID, it's really bad down there in Florida, and they would have to, you know, take a couple of days to drive up here and have to stay in a hotel, and they're nervous about that, and I get it. I totally get it. I'm just sad. I'm disappointed because I really miss my mom. I really miss my mom. You know, and then my husband's like, well, why don't we just go down there? And I said, well, it'd be the same thing. You know, I'm not comfortable flying right now with the whole COVID thing. And then we would have to stay in a hotel. And then Ryan's like, well, if all 3 of us went and all 3 of us took turns driving, he's like, I went to Florida before and just drove straight through. And I'm like, I'm sorry. 24 hours in a car, I think I would lose my mind. Just the 9 hours coming back from Renee, I'm like, oh my gosh, as you get older, that's just no fun. I mean, I went to Missouri my entire life, and that's 12 hours. But I can't even imagine 24 hours. So it's just sad. COVID has screwed up a lot of things for a lot of people. So I keep telling myself, okay, it's not like my wedding was canceled. It's not like I couldn't have graduation or go to prom, you know. So I'm trying to put it in perspective and say, you know what, better safe than sorry. I don't want them to get sick. And, you know, we can FaceTime a lot and we will be together again, hopefully soon. So that's pretty much been my life. That's what's been happening. I did get a lot of Punchneedle done though, so I'll show you that later. Okay, oh, one thing I wanted to mention. I noticed on my video that, because sometimes I will rewatch it, like have it playing in the background while I'm doing something, just so that it's always nice to just know that it uploaded properly and stuff. Like I don't sit there and watch myself, but I want to listen to it. And I was listening to it and I heard a commercial right in the middle of my video. So that is not my fault. I have the skippable commercials at the beginning, but I don't want commercials during my video. And then I was watching Valerie stitching in the barn. She doesn't normally have commercials in the middle of her video, and there was one in the middle of her last video. And there was somebody else I was watching that never has commercials in the middle of their video, but their last one had it. So I don't know if there's a glitch or if YouTube is, you know, just making this happen. I don't know. I got to figure it out because I'm sorry. I apologize if there's commercials in the middle of my video. I am not making that happen. All right, we're going to move. I don't have announcements, so we're going to move into Q&A. Elizabeth Jones, she asked, or she actually just was a comment, but she wondered if I would consider making my angels into stickers. Well, interesting that you asked that, because I have been researching now for a couple weeks, looking into getting stickers made. But I'd love to make a sticker book, but I haven't found a source for that. And I can get like just individual stickers. Anyway, I'm hoping to at least maybe find somebody that can make a sheet of stickers. And I would like to get maybe 5 different sheets made and then package 5 different sheets in one package together. And then have different categories. I could have, you know, holidays, and I could have my angels, and then I could have things that maybe are all stitchy related. And so that is a goal of mine, and I have been researching that. So that's on the horizon. I can't say when, but Susan Hask, I'm sorry. That is Susan Hess asked all together. Susan Hask. Go. Susan Hess asked, could you chart your beach angels in cross stitch? So those huge paintings I showed you that are hanging in the hallway of that beautiful home in Florida, she wondered if I would chart those. I may someday. I usually come out with 1 or 2 angels a year at market, and I have one out being stitched right now. I'd love a Madonna and Child. I have it all charted. I need to find someone that will stitch it. And then I have someone that has offered to stitch Speaks with Grace, which is an African-American angel. So, you know, I'm not saying I will, I'm not saying I won't. It's definitely a possibility. So Tammy asked or mentioned that Vanna had a thread separator from, I don't know how to say it, it's Puffinco, Puffinco, but she said it changed her world, that she bought it and she loves it. So I'm going to check into that, and when I get it, I'll do a product review. Oh man, I forgot to bring it down my magnifying thingies. I'll insert a picture, and maybe I can get a picture of myself wearing them and insert that too. We'll see. But I used them for the first time when I was in West Virginia last week because I needed to do some back stitching on a design. The design is going to be for the Punchneedle Primitive Stitchers magazine for the Christmas winter issue, which is due August 15th. Well, this design, I love the design, but I chose a linen color that was too close to the snowman color, and he just needed a little bit of a pop. So I did back stitching around him. Now I've back stitched before on a Halloween design, but I didn't have, well, number one, I have new glasses, plus I didn't have the magnifiers that I have now. So I back stitched that, and it was easy peasy lemon squeezy because I could see those holes like nobody's business. So I'm excited now about trying cross stitch because I really think I can do it because I can see the holes. That was my biggest fear about learning to cross stitches. I just can't see. So we have that solved. Chris asked, have you tried local library book sales? She said that her local library has 1 or 2 sales a year to get rid of old books, and she said it's like $1 to, I forget what she said, $1 to $5 or something like that for this bunch of books. So she said she's going to look at that in a different way now because of finishing things on books. So that's cool. I have not checked into that. I didn't realize that libraries did that. So I could call around and see, you know, my local libraries if they do something like that. Okay, so whips. I have 2 whips to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm working on for Witch Paint Wednesday. I'm still working on my calendar. I have, this is my 5th painting for the calendar, and it's an Easter one, and I showed it to you, I believe, last week too. But you can see I got more of the flowers done, and I did a little shading on his little bunny costume. Still have a ways to go because this week we did a lot of talking, but we also looked up jokes. We told jokes, we looked up like questions to ask each other and, you know, interacted with people. You know, they can chime in on like their answer for the question. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So I don't get a lot of painting done when we have Witch Paint Wednesday. But that's all right, because I like visiting probably more than the painting. And then my Punchneedle Enjoy Each Day is coming along splendidly. I'm going to insert a picture of the painting that this is inspired by. I did this in a huge painting. As you can see, I have a spot here, and then a couple spots on this side. So I will have this done tonight, and I love it. I love it so much. And this will probably be a fall release. I might save it for the Punchneedle book, but I don't know. I need both. I need designs for the fall release, and I need to get on that Punchneedle book and get it done. So it'll be one or the other. Either way, it'll be coming out this fall. Okay, that was my whips. So for finishes, I have Snow Love. So for CW Live, if you don't know what that is, I teach painting lessons every Tuesday night in a private Facebook group. You have to be a member in order to be in the private Facebook group. And I teach you how to paint fun, cute little things. And this is called Snow Love. And so last week I showed it to you, and it was very just boring and flat. I didn't have the trees done. I didn't have the detail in the bird. The snowman didn't have like any shadowing on him. And then all those swirls are supposed to be like wind, and that was not in there either. So as you can see, we made major changes to it, and I love how it turned out. I think it is adorable. My crackle finish is very nice. It's not too much. It's just enough. I really love him. I think he's really, really cute. And he matches my outfit. I have white shorts on and this top. I didn't even realize that until during Witch Paint Wednesday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I matched my painting for Pete's sake. Kind of weird. Haul. So while I was away, well, first I want to show this haul because I meant to show this after my trip to Ohio when I went to Claire's Stitching Post and the Craft Gallery. Claire gave me a couple gifts, and I just wanted to share them with you. So I saw a picture of Claire's Stitching Post when I think it was like right when she opened, or before, or maybe when they first leased the building and she hadn't moved in yet. Anyways, her little white puppy dog was looking out the window. It's a picture of the front of the shop, but this little dog is in the window, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that your pup? And she's like, yeah. She said, haven't you seen our slogan? It's the shop with the Max. Well, her dog's name was Max, or is named Max. And so that's their slogan, the shop with the Max. So she gave me this cool little can or jar opener, which I love these. I have one, and it's like a million years old, and it's falling apart, so I really needed that. So thank you, Claire. And then she gave me this really cool ornament. It says Vermilion, Ohio, and every year when I put that on my Christmas tree, I will think of Claire's Stitching Post. Isn't that cool? Very cool. So there you go. But while I was away in West Virginia, my Picture This Plus order came. So I'm a happy girl, because between X-Shoes Designs and Picture This Plus and a couple of other ones, I bought something from Inspired Needle and Fat Quarter Shop. I have a lot of amazing 40 count linen for samplers. So let me go through these with you. I'm going to save that one for last because it's new for 2020. So I got, oh, this is new for 2022. Yay! Not 2022, but 2020 TOO2. Now this is showing up kind of yellow. But this is, you guys know this one, Cyprium. I have had things stitched on that, like Halloween pieces it's showing up kind of greenish, yellowish, but it's more like, why is it showing up so weird? It's more like browns and rust colors. Anyways, it's beautiful. Then we have gingerbread, and gingerbread is definitely a reddish brown. And you know, she has that signature modeling in her fabrics, in her linens. These are all, I believe, 40 count. Yep, 40 count, 40 count. 40 count Legacy, which I've had Cyprium and gingerbread. I've never had Legacy, so I'm really in love with this color. It's just a nice creamy off-white with some beautiful modeling. The modeling is kind of like a taupey color. So yeah, it's gorgeous, and it will be so pretty for a sampler. And then new for 2020 is Fawn. And Fawn is, let me hold these together so maybe you can see the difference. So behind it, this one is Legacy. So Fawn, as you can see, doesn't have the yellow in it. So it's going to be gorgeous as well for samplers. And then Vellum, that is new for 2020. And let me hold them all three together. So we have Legacy, which has got a little bit more yellow in it. Then we have Fawn, which is more of a kind of taupe color. And then we have Vellum, which is more of a white with almost kind of a greenish gray modeling. But all three of those are gorgeous for samplers. Let's see if I can get a nice close-up of it. Okay, there you have it. Like I said, I'm a happy girl. Okay, so I have the new segment, and I decided I was going to, actually it was supposed to be in finishes. Before haul, I was supposed to do your finishes. So last week I added the new segment, or I announced that I want to have a new segment where when you finish one of my designs, if you could email me a picture of it finished. I mentioned that it should be fully finished, but it doesn't have to be fully finished because some people never fully finish them, but yet it's a beautiful piece and they might have changed the linen color or the thread colors, and I want to be able to share that with people. So I'm going to go to my email and I'm going to talk about them. As I'm talking about them, I will be showing the picture I will be inserting the pictures here, okay? So let's see how this is gonna go. Okay, Laura Lee Lowry from New Zealand. She did Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love. She changed it up a bit on the pattern by adding DMC 169 blue for the girl's dress. And she said because she used a pale cream Aida on 16 count fabric, she also changed the flowers. She did some back stitching to highlight the flowers and the house. She said, I hope you like it, and I'll be thrilled to see it on Flosstube. So thank you so much, Laura Lee, for sharing your beautiful finished sampler with me. I think I also saw that on Instagram, and she said she stitched it in 6 weeks, which I thought was absolutely incredible. Next we have Vicky Keniston, and she stitched So She Did. Now So She Did is a downloadable PDF on my Etsy shop, and the proceeds go to one of our amazing Ellyn's. So she said, I stitched this piece on 28 count even weave that was ordered from a Russian Etsy site. Sulky was used for the dress, words and crown, and DMC was used for all the remaining areas. I added Swarovski Swarovski, I'm sorry, crystals to each point on the crown and a pearl necklace. The framing was done at Hobby Lobby. As soon as I saw the design, I knew I wanted to stitch it for my great-granddaughter who's 5 years old. And Vicky Keniston is from St. Michael, Minnesota. So thank you so much, Vicky, for sharing your beautiful finished piece with us. I love it. I love that design. Very cool. Let's see what else. I think there's one more. Okay, next we have Curious Bunny from Mandy Russell. And she did a beautiful job. I know she used a different color for the flowers. Mandy is from Sikeston, Missouri. And Mandy also sent me this Be Well. Now, Be Well was part of a movement early in the COVID pandemic. And they were free charts. So a lot of designers offered free charts that said, you know, be well and stitch, or just, you know, something about be well. And this was my contribution. So it was a free chart. It is still available. I will have a link below where you can go and download that if you're interested. So thank you, Mandy, for sharing your stitch piece and your finish with us. I absolutely love it. Very cool. So I think that's it for this week. I so appreciate everything, or I so appreciate you guys sharing your I can't talk today. Sharing your finished pieces with us. So again, if you have finished one of my designs and you would like to be featured in my Flosstube video, all you have to do is email me at teresakoget3@gmail.com. And like I said, if you change the linen and floss colors, let me know so that I can share that with everybody. And if you just use the called for, just let me know that you use the called for. So I appreciate you guys participating in that with me. Okay, now we have Weekly Whims. Okay, y'all. I don't have it yet, but it's on order. When I was on Friend Weekend, my friend Teresa with an H, double T's, that's what we call ourselves when we're together. But Teresa, it was her husband's family's cabin that we were at that weekend, a couple weekends ago. But she had brought an ice making machine. When you have that many people drinking iced tea, drinking ice water, whatever, you need a lot of ice, right? And also for our coolers and different things. So I struggle in my house with ice. This is how horrible it is. I have 2 ice cube trays. That's it. We don't even have like a compartment because the freezer in our refrigerator is not that big. So I don't have like anywhere to put a compartment that would hold ice. Anyways, I'm constantly filling up those darn ice trays. It's a big pet peeve of mine. It drives me crazy. So I ordered this ice machine. When you put the water in, it will make, in 8 to 10 minutes, you will have a basket full of ice. I am going to clean out my freezer and somewhere in the freezer put like an ice cube or an ice tray or something that I can fill up and constantly have ice going. And then, see, we have an ice maker in our refrigerator, but it's broken. When that gets fixed, then the ice maker can go downstairs because that's where we're going to be doing our entertaining once the basement is finished. So it won't go to waste. And I love ice. I like my drinks really cold. So it's going to be wonderful. It will make up to 26 pounds of ice a day. We're not going to need that much, but maybe at Thanksgiving. Okay. Number 2, the Traverse City Whiskey Company makes bourbon. I don't know why they called it the Whiskey Company because they make bourbon. I guess it's bourbon whiskey. I don't know. But anyways, they have a cherry infused bourbon that is stupendous, and we can get it at our local Kroger's. I don't know if it's just a Michigan thing, but if you like bourbon and you like to just sip it on the rocks and you like the flavor of cherries, it's just it's not like overbearing cherry flavor. It's delicious. I'm just saying it's delicious. Number 3 is fresh veggies from the garden. We don't have a garden this year. We didn't have one last year either. We will have one next year. But when we were in West Virginia, Renee planted a garden. Funny story. Funny, not funny. Where they live in West Virginia, like they have woods directly behind them that lead up to a mountain, and they have just land all around them, and there's no neighbors across the street. I mean, there's neighbors down the road, but I mean, they're secluded. And deer, we saw deer pretty much every morning in the side yard. So in order to keep the deer out of her garden, she put up electrical fence that my dog found and got her little nose in a jam. Well, we're walking around the garden looking at it, and she said, well, my fence keeps shorting out. I'm not even sure if it's working, because I was kept worrying about the dog, kind of trying to keep her away. And I goes, well, touch it. And I was kind of saying that as a joke. Well, honest to God, she touched it, but it didn't zap her. So she goes, well, I think there's a short in it, so it's not working. So I'm not paying attention to my dog anymore. We're walking around looking at all the veggies, and my dog must have got too close with her nose or something, but she, yipped and ran into the garden. So now she's enclosed in this thing, and I'm like trying to tell her to stay, but she's scared to death, and she's like, I don't know where to go. Oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. I just want to, I want to see my mommy. And so I'm telling her to stay, and Renee's running around the garden to get to the thing to shut it off, and it was a hot mess. But anyways, she survived. But we had fresh cukes, we had fresh green beans. She even sent me home with a big bag of fresh green beans, which I cooked yesterday. So how I cook my green beans is this. I steam them till they're just starting to get a little bit tender. Then I take a pan with lots of butter, cut up onion in slices, put a bed of onions down, lay all the green beans on there, and let that cook till the onions are getting a little bit browned. And then I just keep stirring them until they're tender. And then at the end, I throw in, maybe, depending on how much I have, a teaspoon of minced garlic. Salt and pepper to die for. I could eat it every day with every meal. All right, my last and fourth and final weekly whim. They're not really weekly whims, because they're more like current whims, because it's not just a week that I enjoy it. Anyways, my current whim, permanent whim, I don't know, is magnesium. I'm going to link below. Dr. Berg did a really informative video about calcium and magnesium and how they work together and what they do for the body. So I've been doing keto, which I've totally trashed my diet when I went on Friends Weekend. I kind of carb loaded, and then I didn't feel so good. And then I was home 3 days, got back into keto, and then I went to West Virginia and said I was going to be good. But when you're on vacation, you don't want to worry about that stuff. So yeah, I kind of blew my diet there too. But I'm back into keto now. But the first time I did keto a couple years ago, I would wake up in the middle of the night with leg cramps, like bad, or toe cramps. It was so painful. Well, I read up on it, and it says that you need more magnesium in your diet. So my husband gets cramps. He's not doing keto, but he gets muscle cramps too. So we're both taking magnesium now, and we don't have any muscle cramps at all. It also helps you to sleep. It can help you stay regular. And then in the video, I thought it was interesting to see how calcium and magnesium work together. So it's awesome. So I want you to watch that video. That's it for weekly whims. I feel like, I need Kevin's drums down here or something. I mean, come on. Pam and Steph, they have all these cool sound effects. Like, shh. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Okay, new in Etsy. I don't have anything new in Etsy right now because I've been gone. All right, so these are my plans, guys. In September, so last September, there's this sampler September. So last year, I designed 4 samplers in September, sent them out, got them stitched. They were released in Nashville in March of 2020. So all 4 of those samplers, I actually designed in September for Sampler September. So I plan on doing that again. So in September, I'm going to design 1 sampler a week I cannot wait. I want so bad to do a Halloween Quaker sampler. So bad. Because I have so much Halloween art. And Halloween is so whimsical and fun that I cannot wait. That's going to be one of them. So the other 3 I don't have like an idea for right now. But that's one of them. And then in October, I'm going to really challenge myself. And I'm probably a fool for even saying this out loud, because October we're also going to have a pattern release. And as you all know, when I have a pattern release, it kind of is all consuming for a good 3 weeks. But I just got done saying how much Halloween art I have. I have so much. I want to design a small Halloween PDF every single day in October. I know, I like to push myself, but I mean, I'm looking at this shelf I have right over here. The entire thing is Halloween stuff. Figurines that I've made, punch needle and cross stitch that I have done, some licensed product of little kids dressed up. Oh my gosh, just those little kids right there. Those each could be a little Halloween tiny ornament. I mean, I have a gazillion. So I already have the art. I just have to scan it and chart it. And I want to also use pretty much the same colors for all of them, so that one, it will be easier for me when I go to pull the floss. It's not like going to be new each and every time. Use the same colors. They're all going to coordinate together, because I know a lot of you like to do Halloween trees and, you know, put little cross stitch ornaments on it. So that's going to be my contribution to your Halloween tree. So those are my plans. And then my other plans are just to continue working on the punch needle designs that I showed you 3 last week. Well, I've just got the 1 almost done, and then I've got 2 other I'm going to work on. So I got to keep my punch needle rolling, because, you know, not only do I have a fall release, but I've got the punch needle punch needle book, which will probably come out, will be part of the release in October. Let's just face it, it's not going to be beforehand. I might as well do it at the same time. And then I got to start preparing for Nashville with punch needle. I'm doing well with the cross stitch for the fall release and moving into Nashville. I'm doing really well with that, but it's the punch needle because I do it all myself. So I need to buckle down. All right, giveaway. So last week, the giveaway was the pattern of your choice. I'm going to insert the YouTube random comment picker here. Okay, so whoever wins gets the pattern of their choice. We had 116 people say be kind always. Let's see who wins. And the winner is Susan Haywood. She said, what a difference the world would be if we all would be kind always. That is a prayer of mine. The quilts are beautiful. Thank you. Congratulations, Susan. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for participating. Congratulations. If you could please send me your mailing address and just mention what you won. Well, no, you won a pattern of your choice. So you have to mention what you won or what you picked out at my Etsy shop. So you can pick out a cross stitch or a punch needle pattern, any one that you want, and I will send that to you ASAP. Just email me at teresakogut3@gmail.com. And then this week is also going to be a pattern of your choice, because I don't know what else to give you, quite frankly. So this week, our angel card is Speaks with Grace. I mentioned earlier in my video that I had someone contact me and she said, I will stitch Speaks with Grace if you will chart it. She wants this so bad. So I said, well, I will chart it then, and when I'm done charting it, I will send it to her to be stitched. So this doesn't have the scripture on it. Yeah, I can't remember what the scripture said, but anyways. Oh, so on the back of this card, it says, Lord, help me remember that nothing will happen today that you and I can't handle together. That's a tough one. That takes a lot of faith, and a lot of people are going through a lot of difficult things. So, you know, I don't say this flippantly. I don't, you know, but I don't know. I just think about times in my life when things were really, really difficult. And I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have my faith in God. So I just feel that with God, anything is possible, and you can face all kinds of fears and worries if you have God, you know, helping you to get through it. Yeah, you know, my husband, my husband and I, you know, we more than once went through some major financial struggles, like on the verge of losing our home. The first home we were in, and then the home we live in now. Very close to losing it. Did we ever fight about money? No. My husband and I really don't fight. And because I always believe God will provide. That's my belief. And fighting over the lack of money, is that helpful? No. No, it's not. I mean, it would be different if he was, you know, a lazy bum and sitting around drinking beer all day and not doing anything. Then there could have been some fights, some arguments. But no, that wasn't the case. We were both working hard. We were both doing everything that we could to make money, to, you know, save our home and our livelihood and whatnot. So when you're working hard and you have the same goals in mind and you're working towards the same goal, you know, why fight about it? So anyway, I'm just sharing, probably oversharing, but that's what I do. Okay, so what your phrase is going to be on that one is, how about, we got this? We got this. That's what I want you to type to be entered into the drawing for a pattern of your choice, okay? All right, last but not least, we have Angela G. For the Chinese fortune teller, she said blue 3-1. Let's see what blue 3-1 is. My goodness. BLUE 1, 2, 3, and then pick number 1. My favorite. My favorite what? Let me get the cup. In my amazing Park Designs Santa mug that I absolutely love and adore, I have some pieces of paper that just have little things on them. All right, let's see. It makes me nervous when I don't know what I'm going to draw. My favorite flower. Are you kidding me? I can't pick one. I really can't. I can pick 2. I can easily pick 2. Okay. If you have been watching me, sorry about that. My camera only goes half an hour increments, which actually is kind of nice because now I know I've been talking for 2 hours, or an hour. 2 hours, good Lord. Y'all would definitely leave me. What was I? Oh, yeah. If you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that my life goal, my ultimate life goal, is to grow hydrangeas like the one that my grandma had in the back of her house in Bernie, Missouri when I was growing up. She had this hydrangea, and I was a little kid, so mind you, this thing seemed bigger than life. It was very tall. It was probably 4 foot tall, if not 5 foot tall, and it had the big, huge hydrangea mop head, I think they're called. I don't know. And they were the purple. They'd go into purples and pinks and blues. They were just stunning. And as a little kid, I felt like those flowers were as big as my head. Well, I have attempted to grow those now for several years. I have moved them in different spots in my yard. I can't even get a bloom on them anymore. One year I did get blossoms on them, but the plant itself was maybe 2 foot tall and it was loaded, but they were pink, and I kept amending the soil and pouring they like acidic soil, and I'm fertilizing them with acidic stuff to get the blue. No, didn't get it. So, and I have a friend that lives right down the road. I swear she's 3 miles from me. And her hydrangeas get like 5 foot tall, and she has beautiful, huge, the color I want. So anyway, I'm gonna make it happen. Okay, so that's my favorite flower, but my other one is zinnias, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can get so many varieties. I love that. I got one year. I haven't found them since, but they look like a mum. They were short, about this tall, and they were more bushy, and the flowers just, they flower all spring, summer, way into fall until we have a really hard frost. I mean, if we have a easy, light, warm fall, they could last to Thanksgiving. Then you can get the ones I got this year. I forget what they're called. I know there's different varieties and I can't remember. But they get like 3 foot tall, and they just constantly bloom too. And then, anyways, so there's all the different heights you can get. And the color is just so vibrant. Next year, I think I'm going to start them from seed like Priscilla does. And I think that way I'll get more, because I'm just planting them, you know. Anyways, I planted them this year in, well, dispersed throughout my gardens, but I have these 2 huge pots on the back deck, and I put all kinds of like things that drape down in there, but then in the center I put these huge, they get really tall, zinnias in there, and they're so vibrant and pretty, and they're just filling that out so nicely. I'll probably do that again next year. So anyway, that's my favorite flower. Hydrangeas and zinnias and daisies. And, you know, I mean, I could really go on and on and on, but I won't. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with me and just listening to me ramble. I love hanging out with you guys on Flosstube, and I just hope that you are staying well and getting a lot of things done. And I hope that the anxiety about your kids going back to school and all that, I hope that's not too much for y'all. I know, I can't even imagine having kids going back to school right now. I'd probably be a little bit worried, but anyways, I'm just keeping you guys all in my thoughts and prayers. All right, and don't forget, create every day. Bye now.